here. This is Killer Kyle. And welcome to Hey, Mean Matt here. This is Killer Kyle. Welcome to another episode of Wheels of Fury, and we just did the final battle yesterday, actually. So check it out tonight around midnight or whatever the hell I posted it publicly. So tonight we shall do WWE TLC, and this is going to be a hell of a show, and I say that a lot.
Yeah.
But I just found out something that we will talk about shortly, and I think that this show definitely is going to be one of the best to finish off the year, I think.
Yeah, I was talking with one of my friends there yesterday, and he will often check out our live videos. Ryan is his name, Ryan Kenny Day. Shout out to him. He might watch this, who knows, or see this. But I was talking with him yesterday, and I said to him, usually with TLC pay-per-views, if you will, maybe not all of the matches, but a good majority of the matches on the card have some sort of stipulation. TLC match itself, okay, tables match, chairs match, and some other stipulation in there, depending. It seems like for this year's TLC, you've got the WWE Championship match, the Universal Championship match.
Yeah.
Both are TLC matches, and then the rest is just a regular card?
And that's kind of pathetic, actually, because, I mean, when you look at Hell in a Cell, and this is what I hate about stipulation pay-per-views, and I'm not sure who the hell got onto it, but it's like, you take Hell in a Cell, for example, you only put 2 Hell in a Cell matches on the card.
Yeah.
Now, at the time, you still had Lethal Lockdown.
Yeah.
And you probably still do, but then you have, like, Extreme Rules. Well, there's always going to be an Extreme Rules match.
Yes.
TLC. Yeah, you usually get more stipulation matches. So, I mean, it kind of sucks in that regard. Money in the Bank, same thing. 2 matches. So, it is frustrating, but as we'll see in our first match, it actually looks like it's going to be very much exciting. So,
let's get on with it then.
Yeah!
Just quick note too. I have some ideas in my head for certain matches, and who I think's gonna win. Kind of hamster's been on the wheel for a little bit.
Exciting.
Now, with this being before SmackDown, it's kind of gonna be interesting to tie everything together.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, we will do what we can and go from there.
Sure. So our first match, we have Bray Wyatt, aka The Fiend, versus Randy Orton and
The Viper.
Yeah, I just found out today that it's gonna be, and for the first time in I don't know how long, an Inferno match.
And see, that's interesting, because it was a few years ago at Survivor Series, I think. You had a match with Bray Wyatt and Kane, and it was a Ring of Fire match.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the last time we had one.
It was the first and only, yes. Now, the premise of an Inferno match, obviously, is you set your opponent on fire. With the Ring of Fire match, it was just, surround the ring with fire, watch them carry on, nobody can interfere, whatever, and, well, we all know how that went. The re-emergence, if you will, of the Inferno match is like, okay, that's interesting. That they are deciding to pick up this particular stipulation for the match with The Fiend and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Watching Raw on Monday and, the whole game of hide and seek, and I'm thinking, okay, if this is done right, it can be really, really good.
Yeah.
And, you've got Bray Wyatt backstage. He's looking for Randy, comes across Matt Riddle or Riddle, and talking with him, and then, there's Rambling Rabbit, and Riddle's like, hey, I got a pet rabbit at home, it's a big fan. Can you sing this carrot for me? And then, there's R-Truth talking to Husky Pig, and, it's like, there you are, looking for you, I've been worried sick, don't talk to strangers, and R-Truth's like, yeah, listen to your dad, and all this other stuff, and then Bray's still looking for Randy, and he comes across his room. There's pitch black, but there's a spotlight, and in the spotlight is a rocking chair.
Right.
It's rocking, it's moving, it's like, okay, kind of a throwback to the original Bray Wyatt, if you will.
Vintage Wyatt.
And so Wyatt carefully makes his way in the room. It's black. Goes over to where the chair is, sits down. I'm like, okay. Then all of a sudden you see in the background Randy. And it's like, don't see him open a door. You don't hear a door open or anything like that. You just see him. Maybe he was hiding behind a wall, behind something, and then he attacks Bray from behind. He's beating him up. They're going back and forth. And Randy throws him in this box. It's probably a case, like a road case, whatever, who knows. Closes the lid, latches it. And it's like, okay, he's just gonna leave him in there, I guess. And I guess it's a little friggin' gas can that would be to fill a lawnmower, basically.
Yeah, the smallest gas can I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. And he starts pouring it on the lid of the box.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, some serious shit's about to go down. So he pours the gas can on the box. And he only covered about 3/4 of the lid. Not, douse the whole thing, but, goes over, grabs a lighter, puts it on the gasoline, and the whole box is in flames. And it's like, okay, the WWE still does things that are geared to kids, catered to kids, if you will. When we were watching War Games, they announced they have a War Games playset.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And, with Fiddle and, Rambling Rabbit and, R-Truth and Husky Pig. It's like, okay, they still have things that are kind of stupid, but they're stupid in a funny way.
Yeah.
An entertaining way. It's like, it's not, oh my god, that's so stupid, why are they doing this? It's like, okay, it's stupid, but it's stupid funny, if you will.
Yeah, I'm gonna give away one of my guilty pleasures and say I'm a fan of the Nickelodeon shows, and I still watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're geared towards kids, but they still can be entertaining. Like, I don't have kids or anything,
Yeah.
but it's fun to just still watch it.
Yeah.
it's not terrible, but it's just, I don't know. It's kind of that example of WWE, even when they're PG or whatever, they still have that element of entertainment value, and sometimes it sucks.
Yeah.
You know, there was a point in 2006 where, well, maybe 2006 to 2012 or whatever, that I thought about not watching the product anymore because it was so campy.
Mm.
But, like, the stuff they're doing now, it's pretty cool,
Yeah.
you know, and they're trying, at least.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. But when we did the Great Balls of Fire review, and I probably did a rant about it, so I probably will post it, but
stuff with Randy Orton, and then Randy Orton winning the Rumble, and he was a part of the Wyatt family, and then he didn't want to face Bray Wyatt, and then AJ Styles won the SmackDown Royal Battle Rumble, whatever, and then you got Randy Orton, he fucking burns down Bray Wyatt's compound, and whatever with Sister Abigail, and now he wants to face Randy Orton. Why would you not fucking have Randy Orton face Bray Wyatt to begin with? No, you have to make, the WWE makes things complicated all the time. That's the thing that pisses me off, because nowadays, they go, well, you know what, we should have went with this all along.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is that this match, although we wanted John Cena and Randy Orton, this match is going to have to do. I don't know how good it's going to be, but I will say Randy Orton may come on top. May come out on top. Fuck.
Yeah.
With all these things I have. But no.
Matt's got a dirty mind.
Yes, I do. So there it
then
is.
back then it was basically, you know, they were tag team champions, and it was stupid for that to happen. And so, I mean, this time it just seems different. Now, when you look at the match with Kane and Taker, and whoever else had an Inferno match, they were clothed. Obviously, Randy doesn't wear a shirt. I don't know how that's going to work either. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's, again, a very dangerous match. And so, that being a Firefly Inferno match, say that 5 times fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't know how that's going to work, but I still stand by what I stand by at Great Balls of Fire in 2017 and say that Bray Wyatt is going to beat Randy Orton. Maybe Randy Orton needs redemption. I don't know. We'll see, but the Fiend is a very dangerous wrestler, and that mandible claw is very effective. So who knows?
Okay. So you have the moments with Ramblin' Rabbit, Husky Pig that are silly, stupid, funny.
Yeah.
Then you get this part where Randy's taking Bray Wyatt in the box and lighting it on fire, and it's like, okay, they're doing stuff to appease children, but they're also throwing in little elements to appease the more hardcore fans.
Right.
So yeah, Randy lights the box on fire, it's all in flames, like, okay, so he lit the box on fire with Bray Wyatt in it. So what does that mean leading into TLC?
Yeah.
Well, shortly after that, you see the Fiend burst out of the box, still on fire, in flames, and he's attacking Randy, and he puts him in the mandible claw, and he chokes him out, basically. And, you know, seeing him burst out of the box while it's on fire is like, you gotta do that quickly and carefully so you don't light yourself on fire.
Mhm.
It's like, what was your SmackDown or Royal Rumble from like 2007, I think it was. The feud with Randy and The Undertaker.
Yeah, I think
And-
it was 2005.
For 2005. You know, everybody's in the ring celebrating with Randy. They got him up on their shoulders. Here come the Drew wheeling out this coffin casket. Anyway, they prop it up. It goes in flames. Undertaker pushes the lid open, walks out, and wreaks havoc, races hell.
Yeah.
And so, my thought on it is this: with Bray attacking Randy last week, match is going along. Randy hits Bray with the RKO. The lights are starting to go down. It's like, alright. And the match quickly, get the fuck out of here before the Fiend shows up.
Yeah.
Randy gets the pin on Bray. Lights go out. Lights come back up. Well, the red, mysterious lighting. And Randy's covering Bray Wyatt, alright? But it's the Fiend. And, attacks him right into a closet, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then you get into this past Monday. Bray, the Fiend, attacks Randy again, comes out of the flaming box, beats him up, man to a claw. So to me, that spells Randy's going to win on Sunday. How they will do it as far as the Inferno match is concerned, I don't know, but I got a feeling Randy's going to win.
Yeah, I gotta admit, you're probably right. I really don't want that to happen, but unfortunately, it is true. I think Randy needs to get one over on Bray.
Yeah.
And yeah, because there was a lot of things that happened in 2017 that just weren't right and left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so yeah, we won't get into that. But yeah, I think that Randy Orton definitely could get a win. So yeah, I'll change my mind too. Shit.
It seems to happen in Vegas. We do not very often, but we'll be talking about a match, and you'll give your projection, and then I'll give this argument, if you will, or compelling story, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
and give my projection, and you're like, hell, I'll go with you on that one.
So now we go on to the SmackDown Women's Championship. We've got Sasha Banks versus Carmella. A much more mature, I guess, Carmella.
Perhaps, yeah, I guess.
Maybe. When you look at Carmella from like the Staten Island Princess and the whole, I guess, youthful get up, I don't even know how to call it.
Yeah.
That she's wearing a dress and she's got the wine and all of that, but she's a pretty good heel.
Oh, yeah. Very good heel. And, them having the debate with each other on SmackDown 2 weeks ago is like, okay, got some good stuff going on there, and the attacks on Sasha by Carmella is like, okay, good start, and build it up. Go really build up, make it a good story and what have you.
Yeah.
It's really good. Then I guess last week they were in the ring talking with each other, I guess, or something, and then Carmella ended up hitting Sasha in the back with like a champagne bottle.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, interesting. But again, with the amount of attacks on Sasha by Carmella, makes me think and feel that Sasha's going to win. not only that,
Yeah.
but with Carmella just debuting as this new character, I don't think it would make sense to put the title on her just yet.
No.
I mean, would it be awesome to see her as champion again? Absolutely. But I think they need to develop and grow the character a little more before putting a title on her.
Yeah, I think Sasha needs to be the champion longer.
Yeah.
Make her more of a credible champion. Because you went this far, let's say more farther, you can go with that. Because just giving the belt back to Carmella in that hurry doesn't make that much sense.
No, it doesn't.
So, yeah, I definitely agree. Sasha needs to retain. Should Carmella get the title? Sure, but not right now.
Yeah.
I mean, she just came back, and, she had the vignettes and everything. And I think she definitely needs to get back into her character a little bit more. Which I agree, she's definitely a good heel, like I've said.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with Kyle on this one. I think Sasha needs to win this match.
And what they're doing with Carmella right now is what they easily could have done with Liv Morgan when they had her go through this character change, if you will, but they fucked it up the ass majorly.
Yep.
So, yeah. And, not only have Sasha hold the title longer and have her be a more credible champion, but definitely a more credible face.
Yeah.
And raise Carmella's credibility as a heel.
Yes.
And, go from there.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, we have a match for the women's tag titles. We've got the champions Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, and what was supposed to be Asuka and Lana. Lana got injured on Monday at the hands of Shayna and Nia, so that leaves Asuka to find a partner to replace Lana on Sunday. So, that leaves this match fairly up in the air. Now, maybe Asuka will find a partner on Sunday, or they'll announce it on the kickoff show, or we wait and find out come the match on Sunday. I don't know. It's a guessing game right now.
I mean, for the fuck shot! So, you're telling me that Asuka needs another championship opportunity? She's already the World Champion. She's already the champion. She doesn't need to be Asuka 2 belts. You have Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, who are dominating the women's division, tag team division. Yes, they argue like the fucking odd couple, but these two women are dominant. And you have Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, credible tag team champions.
Mm-hmm.
Credible tag team, women competitors. No, let's put Lana and Asuka together, because they're funny. They're funny. So, the fact of the matter is, Lana gets injured again. Big shock. Why am I supposed to believe in Lana?
Yeah, I know.
And then, Asuka's already a Raw Women's Champion. You could have put her in a fucking match with Shayna Baszler. But we have to have the women's tag team defended. But we can't have a fucking tag team.
Insert subtitles here.
Should have had Mandy and Dana versus Shayna and Nia, but no. We have to have the funny team. We have to have the funny team, but one gets injured. So I don't know who's going to be Asuka's partner. I really don't. It could be Mandy, it could be Dana, I don't know. But
Yeah.
hell, it could be fucking Kairi Sane coming back.
Yeah.
But I doubt it. So I don't know. We got our hands up our asses again, so
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a retain. That's all.
Basically, yeah. I mean, whoever Asuka finds as a partner, be interesting, but I mean, like Matt said, you have Asuka as a Raw Women's Champion. Why make her one half of the Women's Tag Champions as well? Because there really isn't a way you can make that work unless you have Asuka and whoever win on Sunday and then have at some point Asuka drop the Raw title to somebody and then, carry on as Women's Tag Champions. It's a possibility, but for right now it's like more than likely Shayna and Nia will retain.
Yeah, that's it. So
So now we got another tag team match for the Raw tag titles. You've got the New Day of Kofi and Xavier against Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander of the Hurt Business.
yeah, and I've said this before. I think that this team, the Hurt Business, is the Black Evolution.
More or
That's
less.
the only way I could say it.
Yeah.
Because you got MVP, who is the leader. You've got Bobby Lashley, who's the muscle. You have Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. Now, these two guys are tag team wrestlers at its finest.
Yeah.
Because you had Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, and then Shelton Benjamin and Shaq Gable.
Yeah.
And then you have Cedric Alexander and Caprice Coleman.
Yeah.
And so it would be making a lot of sense for them to be tag team champions. And yes, I love the New Day. But put the titles on these individuals, because you have to have this group have all the gold like Evolution. Now, I don't know when there's going to be a WWE title run in the future. And I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
MVP looks like it could still go.
Oh, he for sure can still go.
So, I don't know if it could be him. I mean, Bobby Lashley is US champion. I don't know where they're going with that. But, whatever. And so, for me, it's gonna be the Hurt Business.
With all the opportunities the Hurt Business has had it for the tag titles, it's like, when is it due time for them to get the titles? Are you just gonna have these guys keep losing to friggin' Kofi and Xavier? Because, like, these guys have had some great matches, and seemingly the New Day is able to squeak one out, squeak by. And I mean, don't get me wrong, New Day is a really good tag team. 9, 10, 12 time tag champs. Longest run of the tag titles in Raw history, WWE history, whatever. They're over with the fans.
Yeah.
And, you've got Shelton, who's, a fairly good heel. Cedric seems to be coming into his own as a heel. And at some point down the line, they're going to end up with the tag titles.
Yep.
Hopefully Sunday.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually.
If not, some point down the line, but it's like, these guys have had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity at the titles, and it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
Before either the New Day slips up, or friggin' Benjamin and Alexander get a horseshoe up their ass
Yeah.
and win the tag titles. I don't know, but at some point it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So that's basically my prediction. Actually, that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. So now we have the WWE Championship match. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my. Drew McIntyre versus AJ Styles. Yeah, I mean, do you really want to see AJ Styles as the WWE champion again? Like,
Yeah.
it's not a knock on AJ, but, Drew just got the belt back from Randy. I don't know how long they're going to keep it on him. I mean, look, I know that AJ is a veteran in the business. In fact, I just saw a review from Wrestling with Regret. Shout out to Brian. Talking about, I can't remember what 2001 pay-per-view it was for WCW, and there's a young AJ Styles
Yeah.
and Christopher Daniels.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, and he's definitely done it all in the wrestling world. I just don't know if he needs it.
Yeah.
Because if he does get the WWE title, then who's he going to feud with?
I know.
Because, obviously, how many times do you want to give Drew the title?
Yeah.
Loses it, he wins it, he loses it. So, no, I do have a hamster on the wheel for this one. I just thought of this now. I don't know if you said you had a few hamsters.
Yeah.
So, I'll let you go first.
Well, see, my thinking was there have been really good back and forth between AJ and Drew, and then, you throw in Sheamus and Morrison and Miz and that whole thing. It's been very good. Then you get to Monday and the Ascension ceremony of the championship, and they're going back and forth, and Drew giving this resounding speech about why he's the champion and who he is, and AJ giving his side of the story and all this other stuff, and then AJ attacking Drew and beating him up and putting him through a table and chair and all this other stuff. It's like, okay, that more or less sways the match in the favor of Drew. And hearing Matt's little speech is like, yeah, I would agree. I mean, could AJ have the championship again? Yeah. Would he be a good champion? Sure. But, I mean, what they've got going on right now with him and Almost Big Black Bastard is like, it's good. It's entertaining. The heelish tactics of AJ and being sort of protected by Almost, even though he doesn't really do much, just stands there looking intimidating.
Well, the way he picks AJ up and puts him neatly into the ring.
Oh, I know.
That's pretty fucking amazing.
So, there is potential there for AJ to be WWE Champion. You gotta do it in a way that makes sense, though. Like, I wouldn't be opposed, to seeing AJ as champion again, it would just be do it in a way that makes sense. Plus, like Matt said, with Drew just having won the championship back, he's only held it for a little bit, so
Yeah.
keep the title on him. Let him have a fairly significant, lengthy run as champion again, and then go from there.
Yeah, I think so. And it's not a knock on AJ, it's just.
No,
Now, I mean, you have Sheamus and Drew going back and forth. A little Scottish-Irish connection
yeah,
from the early days of their career, which I think is great. I think a lot of people are spoiling the whole Sheamus turning heel on Drew. I personally don't want to see that, but
no, I don't either.
let's just say, for shits and giggles, that does happen during the match and AJ gets the win. But then again, I highly doubt it. So
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, it's just the way I see things, and yeah, I guess we both agree.
Like, I really don't think it would make much sense to have Sheamus turn on Drew. Like, they're longtime friends. They've known each other their entire lives, basically their entire careers.
Yeah,
And there's no reasoning for Sheamus to turn on Drew.
no.
Now, what's to say also that you have this match go on, these guys are beating the tar out of each other, whether Drew retains or AJ wins, Miz cash in.
Well, that's something I didn't think about either.
Now, we both probably aren't on the bandwagon of seeing Miz as champion. It's a possibility it could happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, he cashed in on, I can't remember who it was.
Del Rio, I think.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think if he does get the title, he could be a good champion. I mean, his second face run was better than the first one, so
Definitely.
why not have him as WWE champion? That could be better than the first time he was WWE champion.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's a good point. I mean, that's kind of okay. So if that does happen, you could have AJ Miz feud, but they're both heels, so
Yeah.
it makes sense for Drew Miz to go. So
Yeah.
you know, we'll see what happens. I didn't think about that, but yeah, there you go.
I mean, there's nothing saying for sure it'll happen on Sunday. It's a possibility. So yeah, just an idea that popped in my head that I thought I would throw out there.
Yeah, one thing is for sure is that nothing is for sure.
Yeah, straight on.
So now we have the WWE Universal Championship. We've got the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
This is going to be a hell of a fight. I mean, the passion that comes out of Kevin Owens
Oh yeah.
and everything else. And I think that since Roman has come back, that he has rejuvenated himself as a good heel. I mean, he was always booed as a wrestler. Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he aligns himself with Paul Heyman. And in my opinion, Paul Heyman shits gold.
Yeah.
So, I believe this is, and you know, there is a rumor that there's a stable. I'm not sure what's happening with that because it's just Jey Uso.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there it is. I think that Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns are going to have a really good fight on their hands. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. I mean, there's a small rumor that it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Goldberg in the near future. Possibly WrestleMania 37. But
You'd have to work quite a bit to get there.
so I don't see that happening.
There she goes.
I think that Roman definitely needs a longer title run just for the fact that, he won it at SummerSlam. Let's finish off the year with him as the champion. On the other hand, Kevin Owens has only been Universal Champion. Yeah, he's been mid-card champions in WWE, but he's only been Universal Champion, so to have him with the WWE Championship, that'd be pretty fucking cool as well.
Yeah.
So, that being said, I don't know what the hell I want.
With the attacks on Owens by Roman, how he took a chair to his own damn cousin,
Yeah?
but still, with the attacks on Owens by Reigns, I'm gonna go Owens on this one.
Yeah. Alright, no, that settles it then. I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a fight, good
Oh, yeah.
match, and, they're both very vicious competitors. So we'll see what happens,
Yeah.
So this has been another Wheels of Fury TLC review,
Right.
prediction show.
Yeah.
So, and I will be going back to my home stomping ground for Xmas,
Yeah.
and it's not gonna be like last time where I take a few months off and whatever. It's just gonna be, we'll see what happens. Right now, this area is on the yellow zone, and where I'm going, there's really nothing there, so I'll be back for New Year's. We will do New Year's Eve. As Wheels of Fury, like, planned.
New Year's Eve special,
Yeah.
as always.
And then we'll see what happens from there. I don't anticipate anything happening that gets worse.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot happening in January already.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's going to be fun.
For sure.
Anyways, so from me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle. Do you have anything to say?
TLC should be a really good show. Final Battle will hopefully be a very good show as well. It'll be interesting to see what happens on both shows, both pay-per-views, if you will. Final Battle and TLC.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll be taking a bit of a break for the Christmas holidays, but we have plans, and definitely for sure we'll be doing our New Year's Eve spectacular special, whatever you want to call it, as usual each year.
Tune in on Christmas Eve for our look back, a tribute to the troops 2003.
Yeah,
That should be fun, hopefully.
yeah, we got Final Battle, TLC,
Yeah.
video lined up for Christmas, New Year's special planned as always. And January, when we get there, there's going to be a lot going on, so it's
Gonna be stacked,
gonna
for
be
sure.
rocking and rolling.
Yeah. And hopefully soon we'll be back to normal. Well, it won't be normal, but it'll be somewhat normal.
Yeah, some semblance of normal at least.
Yeah. So anyways, we will talk to you soon. Deuces.
See you for New Year's.